Oof. All right. Your theme of the month is the 10 of Swords. Ending, tragedy, loss. Now, this doesn't have to be a physical loss, or sometimes people associate this with illness, or some of you may have family members or people in your life who are going through something. And if you do, I'm deeply apologetic. Hopefully, hopefully everything resolves itself and goes okay. The 10 of Swords, however, though, is a loss, an ending. And it's more than that. It's a feeling of an ending. It's a feeling of a loss. So Virgo, I feel like some of you, this is the end of the road where you're saying this month is either make or break. It's weird because they're not letting me say this is 100%. It could never work out. It's completely done. This is almost like this is your wake up call. This is the month you make the decision. It's almost like, because Virgo, you guys are so, business-like sometimes. It's almost like you've given this is the end of the year. So we're either going to make this happen. We're not, if you get my drift, it's like make or break time. We're either all in, we're going to make it happen, or we're just not in the end. And this is the finale. There's no more returning. There's no more rebounding. There's no more makeup, breakup. This is like you want to start the new year either with a fresh, clean slate with this person or never again. Okay. The next card you have is the 10 of Pentacles. And this says a lot too. For some reason, I feel like biological clocks are ticking, or just, you're ready to get moving with your life, period. It doesn't have to be kids. It could just be, the reason I say that is the 10 of Pentacles is about goals. It's about moving forward. It's about a legacy and imprinting that legacy. So, making your place in the world, having the life that you've wanted to have. So maybe some of you have wanted to get married and you're just kind of like, okay, this situation isn't working out for me. So now it's time to be real. And if I really want to get married and this person doesn't, this isn't the situation for me. Or if I really want to have kids at some point, again, whatever reason, and it may resonate with one person, they're saying like biological clock is ticking, I've been waiting, or whatever it is. The 10 of Pentacles is saying, I have goals. I have a life that I want to live, that I want to start living. And it's been on hold because of this fucking relationship or whatever this thing is. And excuse my French, I cuss like a sailor sometimes. If you don't like it, I'm not the reader for you. But the 10 of Pentacles is just saying, I'm ready. Like, I'm not sitting here waiting around to figure out what you want or what you don't want. Now it's time for Virgo to say, this is what I want. How do you fit in the picture? If you don't, bye-bye. See you later. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the read or into the month. And you have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is saying, look, I'm practical, I'm responsible, but I also have aspirations. Again, they're telling me like, they're showing me a picture of like somebody getting up and moving forward. Like, I'm not sitting around waiting on this. And I'm not saying that Virgo has been sitting around waiting. In fact, Virgo can a lot of times be very different than that. You piss a Virgo off enough or disconnect with Virgo enough, there they go. Like, bye, we're on to other things. Now, you understand that this relationship took work, and that if you guys were to get back together, it would take work to sustain this. Virgos are very well aware of that. But the Page of Pentacles is saying, look, I have the tools. I'm willing to work on this if this is a practical decision. And I think a lot of you are starting to really like fine-tooth comb this entire past relationship, present, if you're communicating, if you're not communicating. Some of you are going, this is not going to continue. There's no way we can move forward with this. And others of you are like, yes, and I'm willing to put in the work, but I have to see progress on their end as well. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the distant past, your distant past, over the past 5-10 years, you have the 8 of Wands. So this definitely says that the 8 of Wands is about rushing in, forced action, something that just kind of, comes towards you. You don't have control over it. It's forward momentum and very fast. The 7 of Wands is very much like feeling like you have to defend everything you do. And even though this is the distant past, I feel like for you guys, this is very much what is going through your head. Like, you're feeling like you have to defend the fact that you don't want to be with this person, or you're feeling like you have to defend the fact that you have goals and strategies and priorities going forward, because the Seven of Wands is all about prioritizing and strategic. Where do I see myself 5 years from now? And a lot of people start to do that, especially towards the end of the year. But the Seven of Wands makes me feel like Virgo's kind of going, I don't have to defend myself to you. If this doesn't feel right, if it's not working for me, for some of you, it's also they're communicating with you, but very like almost testing the waters, kind of fishing, like, hey, how are you? And you're kind of like, look, that doesn't work for me. This person that you're dealing with, for some of you, cannot seem to understand why you're not like taking them back, or you're not falling for their charm. And cross watchers, it could be vice versa, but I always read for the sign at hand. But the Seven of Wands is definitely saying that some of you are feeling on the defense, like you owe somebody an explanation and you're just not going to. And the universe is saying, look, in the past, you've always been like, well, you know, the reason this isn't going to work, or, well, you know, I'll take you back, but, you know, like, I'm feeling very cautious about this. And you're just like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to defend myself, and I'm going to defend my stance in this, because before I've given in and allowed people to walk all over me, and I'm just not going to do it anymore. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past few weeks, past month or two, you have this Strength card. The Strength card is Leo's card. So you could be dealing with a Leo or have Leo placements in your chart. This is about patience, maintaining strength, self-belief. So Virgo, you've come in this position where, again, I feel this heavy make or break, because the Strength card is saying, you can go either way. You have goals that you feel you're destined to achieve, that you want to achieve, that are going to make you happy. And this person can either come along for the ride or not. And you're starting to understand that regardless, as long as you understand where you're going and you know what you want and where you're going, then you're good. The Strength card is building you up and allowing you to understand that if this connection does end, if it's some sort of loss where it's like, this is a tragic ending, we could never get back together, you're okay with that. You've come to the conclusion that your long-term goals in life may not include this person. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Hermit, which is your card. You're so far the first sign, if I think this month, that has come up in their own read. If you've seen my reads, you know I find that very good, because it means that you're organically showing up to your read. Like you're organically paying attention to what does Virgo want? What does Virgo feel? What does Virgo deserve? So the next few months, that is the path you're on. You're on the path to find your legacy. You're on the path to figure out what your goals are with or without this person, regardless of whether they come through or don't, whether they're here or not. Again, you're like, I'm not gonna, like, I know I'm not going to defend myself anymore. My decisions are what they should be. And for some of you, it's like, hey, you cheated on me and now you come back and you're like, hey, I love you, I miss you. And you're going, no, guess what? That's not good enough. And you ruined my trust. And I don't know that I want to go back to that. And the Hermit card is about figuring out what you want. It's a spirituality, but it's also a solitude. I would rather be alone than be with somebody who doesn't make me feel good. Be with somebody that there's constantly problems or constantly drama or constantly issues. I want somebody I can trust, somebody I can love, somebody I can adore and be attentive to, not somebody that I feel constantly like I'm in defense mode, or not somebody that I constantly feel like it's a tragic ending over and over and over. The next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks throughout December, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is you saying, you know, hey, I've grown wiser. The Queen has grown wiser. She or he, I don't apply sex to the cards, but this is somebody who's very generous, very giving, but also very maternal, paternal, but in a way of like, I've learned my lesson. So if you're attentive towards me, or if we can have an adult discussion on what we can do to make things better, or what we can do in order to maybe change how we go about this relationship or rebuild or work the relationship, then fine. But if not, you know, word to your mom, like I figured out, I'm wiser now. I don't need you in my life to complete me. I want somebody that there's a difference between need and want. I don't need somebody in my life. I want somebody in my life who doesn't make me feel like this. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month. Well, I knew that was coming. I told you that this tragic loss, destitution, 10 of Swords, finale card wasn't quite the finale. And you know it too, Virgo. Some of you are like, I know. The 6 of Cups is something tangible throughout the month that's going to happen. Beginning, middle, end. And this is the ultimate reconciliation card to a certain extent. This is reminiscing, meditating, looking back, nostalgic. Generally, when this pops up, there's some sort of communication. Somebody's coming back. They want you back. You want them back, etc. The 6 of Cups definitely, sorry, my throat is like on fire. Maybe because I feel like I'm shouting. Like your energy is like, wah! But the 6 of Cups makes me feel like you're kind of going, okay, you want to talk to me? Sure, let's talk. But what do you bring to the table? Like, I just feel like a lot of you are going, what do you offer? What this legacy I'm building, the family I want, the fur babies I want, the traveling partner I want, the marriage, the whatever you want, like, what do you bring to the table? So nice of you to communicate with me. And for some of you, maybe because the holidays are near and everybody starts to get that nostalgic, oh, remember we did this and we had this tradition and whatnot. But the 6 of Cups definitely says somebody's coming back. I just don't know that you're going to give them the room to stay unless there's really some major changes that are like very profound here. And the next card, see, this makes sense. The next card you have is the Queen of Cups, which is how you're feeling internally. It could be the beginning, middle, end throughout the month of December. And you have the Queen of Cups, very mysterious. She or he has 1 cup to offer, okay? And you're not willing to give that 1 cup to anybody who doesn't Darn it. I am like, my words are all messed up for some reason. You're not willing to give it to somebody who doesn't deserve it, okay? Because you've gained wisdom here on what you deserve, what you're willing to tolerate, what you're not willing to tolerate. The Queen of Cups is very mysterious. And I feel like that's why the universe is telling you, you don't have to be on the defense like you used to be. Before you would defend, well, it's just, I kind of feel like I deserve better. I kind of feel like maybe you didn't treat me right. And the universe is saying, no, be a mystery to a certain extent. The Queen of Cups is mysterious. She's otherness. Right now, you're not giving your position away. And I think it's freaking them out. In fact, I almost feel like this 10 of Swords is their energy of tragedy, loss, because they don't know what you're up to. Like, this almost makes me feel like they're like pounding down your door or texting you and then emailing you and then Facebooking you or whatever, because the Queen of Cups is almost like I'm keeping my silence and I'm keeping my cup for somebody who deserves it. And this person is kind of frantically going, where'd you go? What are you doing? What's going on? Like, I want you back. The next, and you may have them blocked on all angles, because for some of you, you don't even know how bad they have it for you. All right, the next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And you have the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius card. So you could be dealing with a Sag or have Sag placements. But this is very similar, or they coincide to me a little bit here, because the Hermit goes inside, spiritually tries to figure out what is going on, what do I want, just basically overall maintaining Virgo's organic self. Temperance is about patience, it's about balance, and it's about moderation. So I feel like some of you are easing off of that place where, you're constantly thinking about them, or you're wondering if, woulda, shoulda, coulda, which we all go through that. It's not like none of us go through that. But Temperance is saying you're finally mellowing out, where you're kind of like, I don't really care. Like, of course you connect with them. Of course you have feelings for them and you have a strong connection with them. But the Temperance card is saying, I'm not too concerned about it. If they come back around and we can make this happen, great. Not if, when, because this 6 is really saying they're going to come back around. It's not if, it's when. But how does that fit in with these goals? I have a life to plan right now. And I've put it on hold for this person quite often. I feel like some of you have been kind of like, well, what are we doing here? And now you're just like, no, the new year's coming up. I have people to see, places to go. The next card you have is your outcome card. And you have the 5 of Pentacles, which is loss, destitution, feeling a sadness. The 5 of Pentacles is also somebody paying attention. So I really do, not that they're freaking out or not that they're like crazy weird. Some of them maybe, but like they're paying attention to what you're up to. The five is kind of like, where did you go? Going along with the Queen of Cups I was talking about, where I'm like, you're a mystery to them. They don't know what you're up to. They don't know necessarily, or if they do, it's like very small blip. They're checking your social media. So this person's really, really kind of, I don't want to say freaking out, but they're like, yeah, I mean, they are a little bit worried, like, this may be it. This is the ending. Like, this is the end all be all. Virgo may not take me back, or Virgo may not want anything to do with me ever again. And so, yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, they are getting a little like, they're going to try different avenues, like call you, maybe email your work or something if you have them blocked. It's like they're not giving up the fight, but they need to make some real decisions on what they're doing, because I think you've been through enough and you're kind of like, I'm done with the rigmarole. All right, your clarifying card, one of them is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is clarity, logic, power. All I'm going to say here, Virgo, with this is you have the power. And cross-watchers, you can naysay me in the comments and say, oh, it's all Virgo's fault. And that's fine. Like I said, this can be reversed. But right now, the power in my eyes with this read is in Virgo's hands, because they have relentlessly put up with a lot of stuff that they normally wouldn't. And some of you, I feel like in your head go, why did I even put up? I would never have tolerated this from somebody else. I never would have taken this from somebody else. I never would have let somebody else treat me that way. So you've built up this connection in your head, which is a true connection. I'm not saying it's not. But what I'm saying is, for whatever reason, this person is somebody that you're kind of like, there must be a connection there. There must have been a strong connection, because I've let a lot of things go I normally wouldn't have. But the Ace of Swords, again, is a clarity, logic, power. And right now, Virgo, I feel like the power is in your hands to decide what your fate is between this person, you and this person. Okay. Now, your other clarifying card for the outcome is the Seven of Pentacles, which is risk reward, which of course makes sense because you're an earth energy, and that's an earth energy card. And whenever I see this card, it reminds me of Virgo. It's almost business-like I was talking about before. Sometimes you have a tendency to look at it with more head than heart, which actually can be safety, versus like water signs who are all heart, and sometimes not so much looking at it with the business side of it. The reason I say that is the Seven of Pentacles is risk reward. It's assessing the entire situation. And okay, well, if I got back together with Billy or Joe or Johnny or whoever, what am I facing? What does it take to rebuild this? Or is it better to just have the ending and be done? Because the Seven of Pentacles is really saying, which spider is better? I think she's holding spiders. Which one's better? Which one's better for me? Staying or going, staying or going, staying or going. So I feel like you really do have the power in the situation. If you told this person, okay, I'll give you another chance. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. They would be very happy with that. And some of you are going to be like, oh, bullshit, dark dove. They're not talking to me. I want nothing to do with them. I never understand why people watch videos about reconciliation when they want nothing to do with that person. Then we all know that there's a tiny part of you that maybe is hoping that something comes through, right? The Seven of Pentacles is literally saying, what are the pros and cons? And I feel like some of you are like writing this down or mentally going, well, he snores awfully loud, or she's kind of dramatic. I don't know. I can't explain it. But there's definitely this, am I wanting to go back to this again? And you really are, like I said before, fine-tooth comb running through this. Okay. The next clarifying card you have for your distant future is the Empress, which is beautiful, nurturing, motherly, very interesting because she's covering this Queen of Pentacles. They're a very similar energy to a certain extent, except for the Queen is a little wiser. She's been there, done that, and has figured out what's going on. The Empress is more of a free-loving, flowing, one with nature, very sensuous energy. Could also be babies. So some of you could have a baby on the way, could have a baby with this person, could be pregnant, or that's what you're looking for, is to find somebody that you want that package with, to have kids, to have a partner. But the Empress is very much accepting and giving and loving to the right person. And I think that's the biggest cue here, Virgo, is who is that right person? Is this person right for you? Now, your last clarifying card is the Temperance card, which you've had come up twice here, okay? The Temperance card, like I said, is Sagittarius' card, so you could have Sag placements or dealing with Sagittarius. But Temperance, again, is moderation, balance, patience. Some of you may need to, unfortunately, ride this out a little longer and see how it goes. For others of you, you're going to say, no, screw that, I'm cutting this out completely. Some of you are going to make the plan of like this deadline. I keep feeling in my stomach like this deadline, like the end of the year. If we can't figure out or if we don't communicate by the end of the year, then this is no longer and we're not going forward. And then for some of you, you're just kind of like, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to figure out my goals, where I'm going, what I'm doing. And then, if they want to come back and talk to me in moderation, fine. Moderation, balance, and patience. If they want to come back, I will communicate with them, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. They're going to have to be patient with me because I'm not sure if this is the right step for me. And you're going to have to be patient with them because for whatever reason, some of them are really freaked out and they're not sure what to say or what to do. It's weird. Ooh, I just got the chills. I just got the chills so bad. For some of you, this is legitimately somebody who's like, for some of you, it's legitimately like, they're like, I don't know what to do because I really want this person back. And I don't know how long I have. It's very strange. This person is extremely like, you're being patient with it. You're not jumping into anything. And I feel like if they could right now, they'd just be like, I want to put a ring on it or I want to, but I don't know that it's for the right reasons. I feel like it's because they realize they screwed up and now they're like, oh crap, this Virgo might find somebody who treats them like the queen or king that they are and that they deserve. And I may have just completely screwed the situation.